Hey, I hope you guys are doing good today. I just want to give you guys a little bit of an update. So, I'm going to be switching gears a little bit from 6 videos a week to 4 videos a week. I feel like 4 videos plus the live streams seems a little bit more doable for me than trying to keep up with 6 videos and doing live streams. So we're going to be doing Thursday, Friday animal, Monday, Tuesday food and food history. So I'm only going to be, I guess, cutting back 1 video from each. So I just want to let you guys know. So today we're going to be watching the most generational rivalries in the animal kingdom, and this is from our favorite Casual Geographic. So I am very intrigued by this one. I have no idea what is going to be in here, so I'm very excited for it. If you do get a chance, I'd appreciate if you can leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a bunch, and I will have Casual Geographic's video linked in my description below. So be sure to go and watch his videos. Give him lots of support. He's amazing. Love all his videos. Highly recommend. All right, let's see what these animals are we're fighting over, or weird animal matchups maybe. Let's go.
Hey!
Oh, no. No, no. No, this would freak me out. This would scare me. This would freak me out. No,
Hey!
no, 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 no. Oh, no.
What you want to do? What you want to do? You scared? I ain't never been scared. You soft, good.
You know how much generational hatred it takes to rather have an op alive and crippled than just dead and out the way? It's easy for us to forget, but for most animals, nature's a jihad from the jump, a gauntlet of grotesquery, where if you die of old age, you're a spoiled minority, and with millions trying to survive.
It does kind of seem that way, right? Like there's not a lot of, I mean, there's a lot that live a long time, but there's also a lot that they definitely have pretty short lifespans.
Gauntlet of
That
grotesquery,
is
where
so
if you die of
true.
old age, you're a spoiled minority, and with millions trying to survive at the same time, that can only lead to one thing:
Oh,
beef. And whether due to competition, an underdog finally biting back, or just an animal choosing problems over peace, you're
oh
gonna
my
see
God.
that some animals have a genuine grudge sequence into their DNA. But two things real quick. One, this is technically a remake of an older video, but as a rule of thumb, anything with iPhone 8 quality or Apple headphones for a mic should be disregarded. And two, while the facts and fades might be true, you're gonna hear me anthropomorphize animals a lot in this video and treat them like humans. But at the end of the day, animals
He just slapped that hippo. Like that was like a no.
be true, you're gonna hear me anthropomorphize animals a lot in this video and treat them like humans. But at the end of the day, animals are just playing the cards they were dealt and doing what comes naturally to survive.
This is true too. I know. Yeah, I feel like we are also guilty of this, that we always try to like humanize animals, and we just can't, you know. I know it probably makes it easier for us to understand, but also makes it confusing for us too at the same time.
Like humans. But at the end of the day, animals are just playing the cards they were dealt and doing what comes naturally to survive. That being said, hating each other with prejudice-laced passion is what comes naturally to these two. Lions and hyenas might have a beef more infamous and more on sight than Tom and Jerry. It's one that involves spawn killing, Jujutsu Kaisen level jumpings, calorie jacking, on
Oh my
both sides
gosh.
mind you, and the aforementioned handicapping. Lions and hyenas have generational beef that's been marinating for as long as they've been alive, and it's all thanks to the power struggle between an overgrown Afro kitty and a maligned mongoose on steroids. In some places, lions sit at the top, and in others, the Serengeti laugh track's the dominant predator.
Well, Serengeti laugh tracks. I love that.
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I don't have a bias, but there are no good guys or bad guys. Both are apex predators that start off life as pint-sized cubs just trying to
Oh my gosh, they're so cute though. Oh, they're both cute. I love hyenas though. I am a I'm probably very biased. I am a big fan of hyenas.
But there are no good guys or bad guys. Both are apex predators that start off life as
Little
pint-sized cubs, just
cuties.
trying to survive the brutal RNG of life. Something I truly wish on none of you. Lord of the Beast ain't a game you want to play, but maybe Beast Lord is.
That is so true, because we did watch the cub life, and that is, oh gosh, yeah. It I this they have a hard life. They have a hard life.
Something I truly wish on none of you. Lord of the Beast ain't a game you want to play, but maybe Beast Lord is. But if you're a lion cub, there's about a coin flip chance your story ends before the first chapter, and the laugh happy Vice trap has a lot to do with it. And obviously, Vice very much versa. But what if I told you this filiform family feud ain't even the worst beef lions have to deal with? You lose tough points when it takes 10 of you to press one of them.
Oh my god, this is so chaotic looking. This looks like a whole like full out war here.
feud ain't
Oh
even the
my
worst beef
goodness.
lions have to deal with. You lose tough points when it takes 10 of you to press one of them. Nah, but the real roadblock to this panther's pursuit of happiness? The animal's so vindictive, folks nicknamed it Black Death and Widowmaker. Cape buffaloes stand on business, and they'll trap lions in trees for hours, and they'll even hit an Uno reverse and hunt the hunter. And with herds that can reach quadruple digits, they'll more than weaponize the power of friendship. Say what you will, I've never seen a hyena make a lion look like that. Not to mention they'll play keep away with a lion cub.
That is true. This lion looks absolutely terrified. Like mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. I know you don't mess around with these guys though. Yeah, no. I have seen enough videos of these that yeah. Yep, that you don't want any of that smoke.
What you will, I've never seen a hyena make a lion look like that. Not to mention they'll play keep away with a lion cub. And it's
God.
all thanks to mobbing. And mobbing's exactly what you see here, and it's fueled by the beef between a rogue stealth assassin build without the bulk or squad advantage of lions and hyenas, and a highly intelligent, highly social tank of a primate. Divided, baboons are leopard lunch meat. United, and the leopard gets folded like an omelet. You know it's an iconic beef when the kids are involved, and both leopards and baboons will kidnap the young of each other, with
Oh my God. That is oh man. I mean, I get it, but it doesn't make the city less horrifying.
You know it's an iconic beef when the kids are involved, and both leopards and baboons will kidnap the young of each other. With leopards, some say it's a chess play to bait the baby's bigger, meatier parents, while baboons have enough foresight to cancel the cub before it can grow up into a problem. That's not the only
Oh
theft they commit.
gosh.
Baboons are underrated predators that'll turn a gazelle baby shower into a homicide and a happy meal, which means baboons aren't above pocket picking other predators, which makes it wild hypocritical that the same malice monkeys will ruin leopard hunts with an alarm call to warn their prey. It takes a special level of hatred to bread block a predator on the hunt. It's like
That is true. That is some those are some big balls they got there. I don't know how else to explain that, like, or how else I see that.
an alarm call to warn their prey. It takes a special level of hatred to bread block a predator on the hunt. It's like how we used to think humpback whales were the guardians of the sea for saving other animals from killer whales. Whole time it's an ancestrally traumatized cetacean going out of its way to interfere with orca hunts to make sure the zebras go home hungry. You see, the whale killers will often murk baby whales, and the humpback hood does not let that slide. And it's not just on sight, any sense is an invitation. One time a pair of spite-powered humpbacks sabotaged a group of orcas after a gray whale calf and proceeded to harass them for 6 hours straight. Seals, sunfish,
For 6 hours straight? Damn. Yeah, those are oh yeah, don't get on their bad side. Holy.
whale calf and proceeded to harass them for 6 hours straight. Seals, sunfish, and apparently even penguins have benefited
Oh.
from the beef. As the humpback motto states, no orca alive shall prosper. And that's on pod. It might seem like the leopard gets grief religiously in this beef, just know when the lights go out, it's a different story. In fact, it's the busted night vision and being the best tree climbing cat that makes it a bane to baboon. So I'd say it's pretty even. And if you're wondering what happened to him, he's fine. And the very next day he was seen trying a trio of porcupine, so clearly his risk
Clearly this one just, he just can't this one doesn't learn. This one just lives life extremely dangerously.
If you're wondering what happened to him, he's fine. And the very next day, he
Bro.
was seen trying a trio of porcupine, so clearly his risk calculator's broken. But at least baboons have numbers on their side against an athletically disrespectful feline. Imagine having problems with the biggest cat on the
God.
planet and having to run that fade solo. The tiger's the death stroke of the cat world, a walking census subtraction that'll take down gars, crocodiles, and tigers are on record eradicating elephants. They even dare go after bears, including the most homicidal one on the planet. The sloth bear's gotta be the most trigger happy of the bears, and it's all thanks to this thing I just made up called the predator-prey paradox. Basically, it means you're infinitely more fornicated in the fortune department if a moose presses you than if a bear, because with predators, you gotta convince them you're worth the effort, but an animal that already gets hunted will turn you into a was before they take time to judge your intent. Real-life Baloo often gets bodied by tigers and leopards. Also, most of their diet is insects, and the same claws that help them break into termite apartments means they can't just climb from the smoke like some other bears. Which means what you got here is a high-strung insect eater with predator hardware. It's like a giant honey badger, and they're so unpredictable.
They're like a giant honey badger. That's that is terrifying actually though. That is a terrifying comparison to make with them. They're kind of cute though. They look like they're like unhinged and they kind of act like it, I guess, but I'm not hating it. I'm not hating it. It's kind of sad though that they're like hunted but they eat insects. It's like it's like the diet isn't mutual like with some of the other ones.
Is a high-strung insect eater with predator hardware. It's like a giant honey badger, and they're so unpredictable that folks actually fear them more than they do tigers. Not for no reason, because despite having a bigger population and a wider range, brown bears actually murk half the people this floppy-faced anxiety attack does. But you see, the thing with tigers, bears can make up to 5% of their diet, and they usually target cubs or moms with cubs. The tiger trauma runs so deep that since tigers have been known to imitate sandbar deer while hunting them, sloth bears got Pavloved into panicking at the sound of real deer. So what you got here is a beef between a predator and prey that opts for fight over flight. Sloth bears will square up to a tiger head on, and the sheer balls of facing them can intimidate inexperienced tigers that don't know any better.
This I don't even know. I don't know what I would do if or like I guess who I'd put my money on if I had to guess between these two because the bear sloth bear seems totally unhinged and and strong obviously like this bear is not a small bear but the tiger's pretty agile and if I guess if it got a hold of you like bit you or swung at you I guess like I feel like that would be pretty powerful too. I don't know, this seems like a like quite the like colossal match here.
To a tiger head on, and the sheer balls of facing them can intimidate inexperienced tigers that don't know any better. The ones that do prefer to catch them slipping at the termite mound, ambushing the sloth bear
Oh.
and going for its neck. Because once a slothy has to grapple with a giant house cat, it's up for him. But even then, the equalizer of Asia better come correct, and sloth bears instinctively go for the face, and even in a losing effort, the bear can cripple the tiger. Especially when it's a mother ready to die about her baby. And I was not kidding, put the aggressive Volca in the higher weight class and lions would have the same problems.
The cat this cat's like, "I'm sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry I even tried this. I'm sorry I was curious. Please stop." Oh, I love it. But yeah, this is yeah, I guess I feel like these sloth bears kind of fight like they got nothing to lose, right? So like or they're gonna do their best if they're going down, they're gonna take you with it, which is also extremely like dangerous, like there's nothing more dangerous than something that has nothing to lose. I feel like that's like the scariest and most dangerous situation to be in.
Her baby. And I was not kidding, put the aggressive Volca in the higher weight class and lions would have the same problems. And like any great beef, both sides have a healthy level of respect and fear, where sloth bears usually avoid tigers and tigers are generally wary of bears. Meanwhile, the next beef has one animal literally praying they don't run into each other. 2020 had a lot of headlines, so many that you probably forgot the murder hornet subplot. These
Oh yeah, I heard about the murder hornets. God, these things are terrifying. These things freak me out. They just freak me out.
had a lot of headlines, so many that
They're
you
so
probably
scary.
forgot the murder hornet subplot. These were Asian giant hornets, and they are pretty much Black Air Force energy in the form of a bug. Their sting is sharp enough to poke through gear beekeepers normally wear, and their finishing move literally involves decapitating their prey with their mandibles. In Japan, these homicide hornets knock off 30 to 50 people a year, and it's not just people getting put on shirts. They also severely bully bees, and unlike
I didn't realize that many people died from them. That's actually kind of a lot. Like when you think about, people that die from, I guess, insects or like I mean, I don't know how many people that are like deathly allergic to bee stings. I don't know how many bees take out a year, but I kind of feel like that's kind of a lot for this.
50 people a year, and it's not just people getting put on shirts. They also severely bully bees, and unlike bees, they can sting multiple times, can deliver 10 times the venom, are 5 times bigger, and are built like a tiny armored
Oh my
fighter jet.
God.
That's how murder hornets can obliterate entire beehives. So when the Asian hornets started popping up in the US, people were understandably shook, and it was believed only one bug could stand up to the aerial assault. The praying mantis is straight up oppressive. An ambush
Oh yeah, I guess so could the praying mantis save us? Could they save us from these? This is horrifying. This is absolutely horrifying. This is the kind of stuff that keeps me up at night. 100%.
Only one bug could stand up to the aerial assaults. The praying mantis is straight up oppressive. An ambush hunter that has lizards, frogs, fish, and even small birds on its body count. They have wings, but they
Oh my
rarely
God.
fly, because in a world of fight or flight, they've been made their choice. And in 2020, a video would go viral of a mantis murking a hornet, going for brain like a sapio. In the wild, it's a different story, and it's often hornets that get caught packing up praying mantises. They're arguably the only insect that can give 10% of the Furious 5 problems. But as you can see, a mantis won't miss a chance to settle the score, but who has the upper hand in this rivalry? Unfortunately, it might not be who you want. According to scientists, it's usually the mantis taking the L, so much that mantises are actually a well-documented source of food for the hornets. And while the God-fearing kung fu
No, we can't have that. praying mantises do so much good. Like if you're lucky enough to have one in your garden, like that's they do good things. No, the hornet's an asshole.
So much that mantises are actually a well-documented source of food for the hornets. And while the god-fearing kung fu roaches get their licks in when they can, pretty much everything has to go right for them to come out on top. But also, you peep out a Terminator termite ripped off its legs before eating it alive. Don't try and tell me this ain't personal. The sad truth is, this hornet was
True.
actually anesthetized before it got manhandled. They literally had to nerf the hornet to gift wrap a W for the mantis. The mantis might not be
Oh
the answer against a
man.
bundy bug, but damn it if they don't give them a fight. Hell, so do bees. The honeybees have been known to swarm an offending hornet and vibrate so hard, they literally cook the wasp alive. And while
Good. Good. Stand your ground. Protect your home or your hive in this case, I guess. Good for them. Good for them. I hope not too many died, but I'm assuming that casualties were definitely had.
while both bees and mantises get their moments, this is the first beef to have human intervention. But it's not like the next beef, which was 100% caused by humans. The heaviest snake on the planet is the green anaconda, and the second heaviest is currently slithering all over Florida. The Burmese python can measure nearly 20 feet long, weigh up to and over 200 pounds, and kills anything from dogs to deer to birds to bobcats. Normally you'd have to go to Southeast Asia to
So this thing like doesn't have like a diet restriction. Holy cow.
kills anything from dogs to deer to birds to bobcats. Normally you'd have to go to Southeast Asia to see them, but thanks to Florida's fetish for f***ery,
It fell. Look. Oh my god. I would die. I would die. Like I don't mind snakes, but I think there's like a certain size to where then I am not I am no longer comfortable. That would be it. That would be that far exceeds my snake comfort level.
birds to bobcats. Normally you'd have to go to Southeast Asia to see them, but thanks to Florida's fetish for f***ery, along with illegal pet releases, the same predator that puts the noose in nuisance is now a legitimate part of the population. They were first seen in the Everglades in 1979. Today, they're hundreds of thousands strong. There's even a theory
That man just manhandled that thing like it was nothing. Oh my Oh my goodness.
in the Everglades in 1979. Today, they're hundreds of thousands strong. There's even a theory that in 1992, Florida folded to Hurricane Andrew, which leveled a python breeding facility and allowed them all to escape. Today, it's believed that for every one python that gets sighted, there's hundreds if not up to 1,000 that don't.
Oh, that's a little bit of a scary realization that if for everyone it's like there's always another. That's a little scary. That is a little bit scary. Those were first sighted in Everglades National Park in the 1990s. They were not officially recognized as a reproducing population until 2000. Since then, the number of python sightings has exponentially increased with over 30,000 sightings from 2008 to 2010. That's a lot. That's a lot. Oh, okay. So they are booming. They are booming.
That for every one python that gets sighted, there's hundreds if not up to 1,000 that don't. And with 30,000 sightings from 2008 to 2010, safe to say Florida's officially finding out. The problem is, back in Burma, they have tigers and leopards to keep them in check, but here, there's only one animal that can hope to stop them. Alligators are a prehistoric assault weapon, and on the rare, they've been known to murk cougars and black bears. And as predators without prejudice, they'll also feed on smaller snakes like the python. The
That doesn't look like that was like a smaller one. That I mean, that is quite the meal that alligator
black
got.
bears. And as predators without prejudice, they'll also
Oh
feed on
my
smaller
goodness.
snakes like the python.
I mean, this alligator obviously is huge. So it's so crazy to see something like a snake this big and this huge alligator. It's it's actually kind of cool.
The problem is, once pythons get big enough, they'll eventually spin the block and cook gators. So now what you got is a
Oh.
sledgehammer with teeth and a leather straitjacket in an arms race constantly trying to eat each other, and I'm still not doing the beef justice. When the Bane of Burma swallows an alligator, its body goes into overdrive. Its heart rate increases, organs like its heart, kidneys, and liver all get bigger,
Oh
and its
my
metabolism hits
God.
another gear. Not only can a python digest a whole alligator in only a week, if Dr. Steve
In a week, I seriously would have thought it would have been like a month. In a week, a week, a week it can digest a whole ass alligator, bro. That is crazy. That is wild.
hits another gear. Not only can a python digest a whole alligator in only a week, if Dr. Steven Secor of the University of Alabama is right, it actually takes less energy for them to down a gator than other options like rats or pigeons. I bet you think that's metal. Wait till you hear what he
Yeah.
pulls. Because pythons will actually read their victim's heart rate while squeezing them to death, so they know when to stop. Problem is, alligators can slow their heart rate all the way down to 2 to 3 beats a minute. This means the snake can end up calling it too soon and prematurely start swallowing the gator alive, only for it to struggle hard enough to bust through the snake like a messed up jack-in-the-box.
Oh my goodness. So much can go wrong. So they can get it wrong, and then the alligator's not really dead, and then it busts through the snake. Oh my, what a way to go though. Oh gosh. But you do what you got to do to survive. Not that that's not brutal, but like that is that's kind of like badass of the alligators though, that they can like get their heart rate down and then kind of trick the snake and then I guess bust through them like while they're actively getting eaten. This is all crazy. It's actually kind of cool though.
The gator alive, only for it to struggle hard enough to bust through the snake like a messed up jack-in-the-box. Well, they both died, but nothing says beef more than if I'm going down, best believe death taking this 2 for 1.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, like the fact that they have kind of this mentality. I know it's not mentality, but I guess like instinct maybe, or it's just habit that like if I'm going down, you're coming with me type of deal. I dig it. I dig it. I cannot blame them.
Box. Well, they both died, but nothing says beef more than if I'm going down, best believe death taking this 2 for 1. That's how ugly competition can get. And this is the other side. Foxes and owls have no love lost, and it's for the classic reason of them pretty much having the same grocery list. Also, foxes will swipe owl chicks, and some owls like the eagle owl will murk them right back. But it's the
Oh
snowy owl
man.
and the Arctic fox that run into each other the most, especially with the white Air Force building nests on the ground, and foxes being willing to steal from anyone. Most of the time though, it's a lot of this, a lot
How is this? It was just walking near polar bears. Little creature. No.
nests on the ground, and foxes being willing
Like, look at this. Like, I guess they're not hungry, but oh my God.
to steal from anyone. Most of the time though, it's a lot of this, a lot of posturing and a whole lot of hold me back. Whether it's an owl-fox feud or a reptile dysfunction, most animal rivalries just start with them trying to put food on their plate. But what about a beef between animals working together? Octopus will straight up deck fish in the face, and according to science, it's a case of workplace assault. Octopus and fish like groupers often team up to hunt, since the octopus can chase prey through coral crevices, and if the prey tries to do the race in open water, they get got by the grouper. You see 2 problems. 1, in a partnership, someone's bound to get shorted, and 2, octopus are smart enough to hold grudges and just do stuff out of spite. An octopus named Truman decided he wasn't rocking with one of the researchers, so every time he'd see her, he'd give her the old siphoned saltwater shower. Eventually, she would go off to college and then come back months later to visit, and at that point, Truman hadn't been on disrespectful timing in a minute. Yeah, that streak ended the moment he saw her, as he super soaked her on sight. So octopus that feel like they're getting cheated in a partnership are much more likely to get punchy. Sometimes they'll lash out just to keep the fish in line. And sometimes if an octopus got backdoored in the past, they'll just project it all over a new fish that didn't even do anything. And since octopus can hunt with several fish at a time, they'll even get petty and ban the offender from the entire hunting party for the aquatic crime of embezzlement. That's why one of the worst things to beef with is intelligence. Just ask coyotes.
That was crazy watching that octopus change like that. Octopus are super smart and it's kind of wild the way that they can like remember stuff like that, remember people, or like if you wrong them, like may God have mercy on your soul.
Hunt with several fish at a time. They'll even get petty and ban the offender from the entire hunting party for the aquatic crime of embezzlement. That's why one of the
I
worst things
love
to
that.
beef with is
Love that. That is so cool.
intelligence. Just ask coyotes, since ravens and coyotes often end up scavenging for the same scraps, especially when they belong to wolves. But of course, the generational instigator, the raven, will straight up snitch on coyotes trying to pinch off the wolf pack. And while Wiley's running for his life, what does the raven do but fly directly over him like a helicopter during a police chase? Imagine getting violated by a wolf pack, all because a goth tweety put a hit out. Last thing you want to do is make enemies with an animal smart enough to do something about it. Something a city in South
True. Ravens, super, super smart from what I have learned. For sure. Definitely have learned that they are super, super smart. And if you are not prepared to outsmart them, I I don't think I don't know if you're gonna win all the time. You might get lucky and get some victories, but I would say that you could probably get outplayed by them.
Last thing you want to do is make enemies with an animal smart enough to do something about it. Something a city in South Africa is learning the hard way, because Cape Town's currently being overrun by baboons. And like most things, it's our fault. Because no matter what you tell them, there's always going to be tours feeding panhandling primates. The only issue is baboon society runs on bullying, where dominant monkeys will basically steal the lunch money of lower ranks.
Maybe that's something that we need to make more known. I mean, I know no one, I know not no one, but most people probably won't listen to this, but I don't know. Like, I guess I don't know what kind of warnings they have around, but like maybe you have to make it more clear. Or I guess too, maybe to protect people that maybe you stop feeding them, and if you are caught feeding them, maybe you would get a fine or something, or like not make it a crime, but maybe like a citation of some sort, you know? So maybe it'll defer people from wanting to keep interacting with them because it seems like their baboon problem is pretty bad, and people just keep kind of like giving into them, but they're not like the kind of species that is gonna learn, I guess, respect. Like they're just gonna keep bullying you, and that's probably not good for the people of this town.
Society runs on bullying, where dominant monkeys will basically steal the lunch money of lower ranks. So not only do baboons not fear humans, but because people kept feeding them, a lot of them see all humans as low ranks and treat them like it. And they've gotten OD disrespectful about it. Cape Town baboons have been known to break into houses to raid fridges, they'll mug small children, and you can even get carjacked by a whole troop. Thanks
Yeah, no, I think you they gotta fix this. They gotta start instilling some fear into these baboons, so they kind of take them down a notch, or they start leaving or something, you know, because this is not good. This is not a good way to live your life, like in fear that you're gonna get mugged by a baboon. Like, as funny as it sounds, like it like that's no way to live your life.
to the Cape Nature Conservation Laws Amendment Act, it's illegal to feed, trap, poison, or kill the monkeys.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Feed, trap, or kill or poison the monkeys. Well, I guess I don't know what you do to try and scare them, but I would say something definitely has to be done.
Thanks to the Cape Nature Conservation Laws Amendment Act, it's illegal to feed, trap, poison, or kill the monkeys, meaning these habitual line steppers are above the law. In 2011, a man went to court over shooting a baboon after he said 8 of them broke into his kitchen and started attacking him and his wife. But with thug
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a side of it too. Like I ain't gonna go down, like I ain't gonna go out like that. You know, if if some like wild animal came in and like this and was and started getting hostile and attacking, I think you have every right to defend yourself. Um, Same as like if an intruder comes into your home and starts attacking to you, or starts attacking you, I think you should have every right to defend yourself by any means necessary. But that's just me.
a baboon after he said 8 of them broke into his kitchen and started attacking him and his wife. But with thug monkeys also stealing crops, some people said it and started fighting back. And not only do the monkeys end up getting hurt or murked, it only makes the baboons lash out even harder. That's not the dental of an animal you want problems with.
No.
But at the end of the day, the baboons are just doing what comes naturally, and they wouldn't even have to be on timing if we didn't go and build a city on their front lawn. Plus,
Well, I guess like that I can see that side of it too. Like they built where they were living, so they like that those people kind of intruded on them. But I don't know how you fix this problem as far as like I don't think you can coexist with them like peacefully. So either I think you have to try to make it so they don't feel welcome, unfortunately. Like not necessarily being like abusive towards them, but maybe try to do something to where like they don't necessarily feel safe and unwelcome. So then they should maybe fear people. But I also see the other side of it of like people thinking that like they're doing something good, feeding them, or they think it's funny, like, oh my God, like it came up and like stole my drink or whatever, but like not realizing that there's bigger repercussions that can come from this, like how they're kind of running rampant and doing whatever they want and being destructive too. So like I I don't know like what kind of solution you or they like this town can come to try and fix this issue.
a baboon can go through your trash can and find more nutrition in 30 seconds than it would in 6 hours of foraging, so we can't be mad at them for working smarter. All we can
True.
do is what every other animal in this video already does and just find a way to deal with it, even if it means a baboon takes your hood pass. But that's gonna do it for this video. Make sure you drink water, hug your mother. Father too. Yo, for real, stop trying these monkeys, man. I promise you won't like how that story ends. And I'm gonna see y'all In the next one.
Oh my gosh.
Ninja in the world, you
Aww.
you are, and you're the prettiest ninja in the world. You're
Oh,
so
it's
fine,
cute.
and you're the
It's
spunkiest
adorable.
tail.
I love this. I thought this video was very, very interesting. This was a really good one. Very insightful too, of kind of like how different kinds of animals coexist and don't coexist, or like they coexist and then they end up butting heads. Really interesting. I really enjoyed this one. This one was very very intriguing to me when when I had seen it, and um as usual did not disappoint. These videos are really good, but also is really like they're really really insightful, and just goes to show kind of like how crazy the animal kingdom can really get, you know, like down to the nitty-grittiest stuff, and I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you guys being here. Be sure to go and like and subscribe to Casual Geographic. He does such an amazing job, so be sure to go give him lots of support. But that's gonna do it for me. I hope you guys had a great day, and I will see you in the next one.